Solar cooker. The solar cookers basically work on the solar light and the principle of emission of radiation from the object. The black color absorbs all the radiation received by the sun and does not emit energy. This application is used in solar cookers to cook food without using fuel, thus converting the radiant energy received into the chemical energy that is food. Oven. The microwaves emitted from the oven cook the food. On passing a current through the magnetron, microwaves are generated. These microwaves produce the thermal energy that helps to cook food. Photosynthesis. The plant uses sunlight and water to prepare its food. The radiant energy from the sun is converted into chemical energy such as glucose and stored in the plant. Heaters. Heaters normally heat the surrounding air and spread the warm air during the low temperature. The condensation of the bonds between the molecules is prevented by maintaining the temperature during the winter seasons. The heat energy is radiated in the air, thus enlarging the distance between the molecules in the air, decreasing the density of air. Solar panel. The solar panel is made up of doped silicon. When the sunlight falls on the surface of the solar panel, the energy of the incident photon is released to the electrons and the agility of the electrons starts conducting, thus converting the radiant energy from the sun to chemical energy. Evaporation. Evaporation occurs when the molecules on the surface of the water bodies get enough irradiated energy from the bottom layers. The irradiation is due to the thermal energy received from the incident sunlight during the daytime. The molecules on the surface of the water gain enough chemical potential energy and travel in the upward direction against gravity. Decomposition. Decomposition chemical reaction is mainly because the radiant energy received from the sunlight breaks the particles into small particles. The radiation energy incident on the organic matter is converted into thermal energy. Due to this, the bonds between the molecules constituting the matter break and degrades into smaller particles further and further. The microorganisms also help in the process of decay. Sunlight. The sunlight is radiant energy received from the sun. As the number of incident sun rays on the object rises, the thermal agility of the molecules increases, thus varying the chemical properties of the matter. Melting a plastic. The plastic matter, when held near the fire, then you will notice that the plastic will get melt due to the thermal energy radiated from the flame. To pack the material in the plastic bags and prevent it from falling out from the bag, the openings of the bag were closed by slightly melting near the edge of the plastic bag. Exfoliation. Exfoliation is due to the weathering of the rock caused by the frequent change in temperature. The contraction of the matter during the winter and expansion of the spacing between the molecules during the summers causes the rock to erode. Geothermal energy. The thermal energy increases at every depth under the soil. This increases the temperature as well as the pressure, and hence molten magma is formed. The different chemical reaction occurs at the high temperature conditions, thus we find different types of rocks and minerals at different depths. Solar cells. These cells get charged on exposure to the sunlight. As the photon incident on the solar cells emits the energy to the cell, and the radiant energy is stored as the chemical energy, which is converted into electrical energy. Solar cells are used in scientific calculators. Metamorphic rocks. The metamorphic rocks are formed as the rocks are sustained to different atmospheric conditions, developing the well-shaped faces of rock grains. The prolonged exposition of the igneous or sedimentary rocks to a high temperature alters a slight chemical composition of the rock, thus forming the metamorphic rocks. Heat. Supplying the heat to the chemical reaction also helps the reactant to break the bonds and react with the ion of reactant ion, forming a bond. Thus, radiated heat energy acquired by the chemical composition can release the chemical energy as the bonds between the molecules break. Frequently asked questions. How chemical energy is released from the matter? The chemical energy is the energy released as the bonds between the molecules break. The chemical energy is potential energy stored in the bonds between the molecules. As the energy is passed to these chemical components, the bonds between the molecules break on availing enough heat energy required to break the bond. How radiant energy is converted to chemical energy? The radiant energy is the radiation transmitted through a medium or vacuum. The particles carrying the radiant energy when released into the chemical component, this energy is grasped by the molecules, which are then stored as the chemical energy. Please visit our website lambdageeks.com for more articles on technology, engineering, mathematics, and various other domains. Scientific calculator and many more other tools.